Hey guys, welcome back to Life with Mrs. B and welcome to another sit down video. In today's video we are talking about all the reasons, well some of the reasons, otherwise this could be a whole long video, but some of the reasons that I choose to home educate my kids. Now, I do have a video on this, it is a couple of years old. People ask me all the time on Instagram and send me messages and say, why do your kids not go to school? What made you choose to home educate? So today we're going to be talking about that. Not so much about how we home educate or what we use, not those kind of things, that would be a whole different video, but we're going to be talking about why I home educate. Now, if you're across the pond, you might use the word homeschool or the term homeschool. Here in Scotland and actually the whole of the UK, we don't really tend to say that because first up, there's nothing actually in the law that talks about homeschool. There's no such thing here as homeschool. If you remove your child from the school role here in Scotland to home educate or to educate your child at home, it's not to school your child at home. Also, a lot of people, because it's not a legal thing, and also a lot of people don't want people thinking that it's school at home or we're recreating or replicating school at home, because we're not. It is very, very different. So I do tend to use the two terms on here and on Instagram kind of interchangeably. If I say homeschool, what I mean is home educate, and there are some forums and Facebook groups where if you say homeschool in the UK, you will get into trouble from the people that run the groups, and they say actually please use the correct terminology. But here in this video I will probably use the two terms interchangeably. They mean the same thing to me. I can absolutely understand why people don't like using the word homeschool, but I kind of do use them. At least on here I do use them. So what are the reasons my kids don't go to school? Why did I choose to take them out of school? So if you don't know, my two older kids did go to school. Sky did 4 years in primary school and Argyll, he did 1 year in primary school. I removed them 3 years ago, almost to the day now, and they've not been back to school since. My youngest, Oben, he is 7 and he has never been to school. So what are the reasons I chose to take those two out of school and not to send Oben to school and to do it all at home? I've got quite a few. As I said, I can't do them all because I could be here for a whole long time, so I'll try and touch on the major ones. So the first one is that I really love my kids and want to spend as much time as I can with them. They are only little ones. I just want to spend so much time with them, and some people are the total opposite, and that's fine. I love spending time with them. I don't feel suffocated. Some people say to me, oh, I could never spend that much time with my kids. I need a break from them. I would feel suffocated by them. I need my own space. And that's fine, you do you. I really want them at home, and I really love having them at home. So I have them at home, different strokes for different folks. Yeah, but that's one of my major ones. I just want to spend so much time with them. And a lot of people will say in response to that, well, kids are only at school for 6 hours a day, so, and they don't even go every day of the year, blah blah blah. That's definitely true, but I don't know about anybody else's kids, but even though school started at 9, we would be up from 7 getting ready for school, so that's 2 more hours that I would say wasn't quality time or great time. We were rushing about, we were getting things ready, shoveling in breakfast, driving to school. They went to breakfast club, so they were at school actually from like 8:20. So there's all of that, and then when they come home from school, homework, after school clubs, all that kind of thing. And then I'm not sure about your kids, this is what I was meaning earlier, but when my kids came home from school, they were tired. They a lot of times were moany and crabby because they'd had a really long day at school, and again, it wasn't quality time. And then you've got your after school things, beavers, cubs, whatever kind of things that your kids go to, you've got them to take them to, so it's not even like you're spending that time with them in the evenings. So I really didn't find I got a good amount of quality time with the kids during the week when they went to school. But now it's totally different. Now we can take mornings slow if we want. We're not in a rush to get anywhere. We don't have to drive anywhere, and I love that. I love just being with them, not even just doing the schoolwork or table work, learning, whatever you want to call it, but just being with them. It's really good. The next reason that I choose to home educate the kids is that I want to be their main influence in their life. I don't want to send them to someone who I've never met before, who's going to care for my kids for, what is that, 30 hours a week or something like that. I don't know that person. I don't know that person's philosophy, their morals, what they're going to teach them. I don't know that. So I want to be the main influence in their life. I want the bad habits that they learn to be my bad habits, not to be a teacher's bad habits or a teaching assistant's bad habits, or also a child's bad habits. A lot of people say to me, oh, do your kids not get time to socialise, blah 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 blah. Actually, I think a lot of people are confused. I remember being at school and the teacher, like, I was talking all the time, I was a chatty person, and the teacher would say, Paula, we don't come to school to socialise. That is what she would say, and she was right, we weren't there to socialise. So a lot of people, I think because your kids don't go to school, they don't learn to socialise. But anyway, what people are talking about, I think, mostly is learning social skills. And learning social skills and socialising are two different things. I don't want my kids to learn their social skills, not to socialise, but to learn their social skills from other children who also don't have any social skills. In my opinion, learning social skills from other children your age at school is a bit like learning to drive from someone who is also learning to drive, which in this country is actually illegal. You can't be in a car and learning to drive from someone who doesn't have a license and who hasn't had their license for a couple of years. I think it's 3 years, I'm not sure. And also they have to be over a certain age. So you wouldn't take driving lessons from someone who's had the same amount of driving lessons as you. So I think learning social skills from children their same age is a bit like that. These kids also don't have social skills because they haven't learned them yet. That's a bit confusing, but it makes sense in my head. So by me saying that, I want my kids to learn their social skills from me, from my husband, from other adults who are well versed in social skills. That is where I want them to learn it from, not from a group of 7-year-old kids or 10-year-old kids or whatever it is. That's not what I want them, that's not how I want them to learn. I hope that makes sense. The next reason I educate the kids at home is that I get to teach them what I want, and I don't have to teach them anything I don't want to. So that works for me because personally I believe things like sex education should be down to me. It shouldn't be down to a teacher or someone else. And to be honest, I don't want my kids learning what they've got to say about really important subjects. I also want to be in charge of the way things are taught. Children learn all different ways. Some children learn by writing things out, some kids learn by reading, some kids learn by listening, some kids learn by watching, and one size fits all for a school class of 33 kids. Sky was in a class of 33 kids with one full-time teacher, no teaching assistant. That was her when she was in primary 4. And one size doesn't fit all, so I love being in control of what they learn and how they learn. A lot of people, for instance, myself included, believe that God created the earth. In school, that's not necessarily taught. It's all about the Big Bang and these bits just boom and boom and the earth came, ta-da! I don't really believe in that, so that's not something I want my kids to learn. I do actually teach them that. I teach that some people believe in Jesus and God, and that's how the earth, God created the earth. Some people believe in the Big Bang, and that's how the earth was created. I have taught them both sides of that, and they're able to make their own decisions. It's not like I only ram religious stuff down their head. That's not how it works. But I want to be in charge of it, not somebody, not the government, not a teacher, not a head teacher, not somebody who makes up the curriculum for excellence or whatever it is. I don't want my kids learning that. I want to be in charge of it. And then leading on from that, the great thing about kids being able to be educated at home is that they can pick what they want to study. If they're really interested in the periodic table, that's what Sky's had a recent interest in, then she goes and she really learns about the periodic table, and she spends a lot of time researching it and writing out fun facts and watching videos because that's what interests her. Now, don't get me wrong, we actually do follow a curriculum. It's from America. Not most people in Scotland don't follow a curriculum. It's, without going too much into it, the Scottish curriculum is different from the English curriculum, and it's actually outcomes based, and there are no set textbooks or that all the primary schools in Scotland get. It doesn't work like that, so it's quite hard to follow the Scottish curriculum. As I said, we use an American curriculum which works well for us. So when the kids are interested in something, they're doing that in addition to their regular work. So it's, see, when someone loves what they're doing, it's like when they say about a job, if you find a job you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And I think that you can kind of translate that, no, transfer that, compare that to home education, in the sense that if you're studying something you love, you're never going to work a day in your life. And the kids really enjoy it. When they find something that they love, it's so amazing watching their wee faces. They're so happy when they find out information. Another reason is, of course, the ratios. As I said, when Sky was at school, she was in a class of 33 kids and 1 teacher. Here at home we have 3 kids and 1 teacher. That's better than a private school. Private schools around here have between 15 to 20 kids in a class. So that's better than private school, and it's free. Private school obviously costs a lot of money. So because we have such great ratios, we can get our work done really fast. We don't have any filler work whilst a teacher's working with one group, so she needs to keep another group busy. We don't have that, which means we can just plow through our work that we want to get done, and that leaves more time in the day for just being a kid, having fun, exploring your interests, baking, cooking, gardening, learning some great life skills. So I love that. I feel like it offers you much more of a rounded education. And a lot of people will say, but surely you can learn how to cook after school. You certainly can, of course you can, but kind of goes back to before what I was saying. If you've got an hour's worth of homework to do, you maybe don't have time to spend an hour in the kitchen that day, or you're maybe tired because you've been at school all day. Whereas we encompass that as part of our homeschool, as part of our home education. It's not optional. My kids know how to clean, my kids know how to cook age appropriately, and chores age appropriately, garden age appropriately. Another reason is we can work at our own pace, in that if my kid is doing really well, we can work really fast and move on to the next level. If they're struggling with something, it's the opposite. We have got all the time in the world to spend going over something. I don't have 30 other kids in a class that need my attention, so I can spend that one-on-one time with my kids and really go through something if they're struggling or if they need it repeated. Whereas you can't do that in school. That's how, sadly, a lot of kids come out of school, and well, not a lot of kids, let's be honest, it's not a lot, but some kids come out of school and they don't remember what they've learned, or they haven't learned anything, or they didn't even understand what the teacher was saying, and the teacher just didn't have the time, and that breaks my heart. Breaks my heart. A lot of people say to me, oh, you know, I'm not smart enough, I didn't do well enough at school, I could never homeschool, blah blah blah. Whereas I'm thinking to myself, that's the same system you went in that left you feeling like that, and now you're going to put your kids in the same system. Doesn't make much sense. But there are some of my reasons, guys. I hope this has been interesting. I could go on and on and on and on and on. If you've got any more ideas for homeschool or home education videos, let me know if comments are on. Otherwise, you can catch me over on Instagram and leave a comment there, chat with me there, and I will see you in my next video, guys. I do a new video mostly every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!